Okay, we have to go to Soul Cycle, so we are not.
No dilly-dallying.
No dilly-dally.
Should I do 1 hour on here?
Do 1 hour.
Here we go. I'm going to set it for, here we go, 50 minutes. Then we know we can wrap it up. And then we go do a little Soul Cycle.
I really like Soul Cycle.
Soul Cycle's great. It's like a little culty, but also fun. Like it's
just we sit in the back, which really helps because then you get to watch the cult.
Yeah. The other day they only had one seat left and it was in the front row, front and center. Never felt so much pressure in my life.
Because it was a Saturday.
It was a Saturday. And I was going and the woman next to me was like doing all the really hard stuff, but with a smile. And she got called out for having a smile. And I was like, I'm not smiling.
Yeah, you're crying.
I'm just like,
it's so fucked up. And how do they do the thing where they're like, okay, I did it for the first time.
Okay.
The week that I went without you.
Okay.
Where they move like da 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 da. You know how?
Yeah, the fast pace to the rhythm. Double time.
Double time is crazy.
Double time is crazy.
And you know what I realized? I was just cranking up my thing too hard.
Yeah, you got to make sure you got to listen to your legs.
My legs. Oh shit. I have a watch in my pocket.
Oh my girl, you had a watch in your pocket and you were still late.
I have a socket in my pocket and a locket in my quacket. I have to fix this. I don't know how to remove these links, but I bought myself this watch.
I have a broken watch too, and I don't know how
it's not broken. It's just links haven't been removed.
Oh, well, I don't even know what that means. My watch is so cheap that I can't even.
I know. I bought myself a fancy watch, and then I just immediately tried to take it apart and fucked it up. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, let me see it. What is it, Rolex?
I can't even read it.
Okay.
No, it's a Psycho.
Is it called Psycho?
I mean, that's what the word says.
I mean, it looks like it. It almost looks like gecko with an S.
Yeah.
Seco.
Seco? It's probably Seco.
Not Psycho.
But it's not that expensive. But I wanted a freaking watch so that I don't have to look at my phone on stage.
And honestly, looking at your phone is so distracting.
Well, I just never look at the time. I just look at whatever the fuck is.
Well, it'd just be like in life. Like if you need the time, you look at that and then you're like, oh, I also should look at Instagram and I also should.
It's also
share my words.
Yeah.
I'm sure your producer's gonna love that sound.
Sorry, Harry. It's also just like when I look at it, it's immediate. If I look at this, you're not alienated. Because that what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
If I look at this, you have no idea.
Yeah.
And I'm in a completely different.
She's talking to someone better than me.
Yeah. Better than me. Something crazy's on the phone.
Yeah. Someone died. Yeah. New York Times. Yeah.
Totally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you don't know.
No.
But you have the Apple Watch.
I have the Apple Watch. It's very old. It does not work.
Good.
It breaks a lot. But it does keep my time when I'm on stage. So when I'm on stage, it'll just start buzzing at 45 minutes. And
it doesn't scare you?
No.
Because what I did is I had a posture corrector that I would wear on stage.
No.
Yep. And yeah, because I have really bad upper cross from trying to hide my tits for my entire life because I'm basically trans.
And you have good tits.
But when I was little, I was always like, oh,
yeah.
I'm a boy.
Yeah, I'm just a little boy.
I'm just a little boy with
strap
fat tits.
them down. I have mine strapped down so hard right now.
Yeah.
And my shirt fits great. I'm like, oh, this is how I wish I looked.
I know. That is the thing.
Yeah.
Tits suck.
Tits suck.
And but it would buzz me while I was on stage because I would.
Oh,
and it
really?
Would be like, and I'd be like, but
that's crazy.
I know, but it really works.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just hits you. It just buzzes you, and you're like, okay.
Do you feel better about yourself when you're sitting up straighter, or why the need to posture correct?
Because I loom like this, and
but it's part of your charm.
On stage, of course.
Yes.
But off stage, I was doing it.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, the watch, I'm always praying for the light. I'm always like, come on.
Oh, really?
I want to eat.
Oh, yeah. Do you wait to eat till off stage?
Yeah. Yeah. I usually wait afterwards. I get a little snack.
Yeah, you gotta do
at the beginning. You gotta do a little munch, and then and then in between shows, if it's a 2 show, I'll eat in between, and then the second show is always worse than the first. If I eat in between, so I have like a little salad and some chicken, so it's not so bad. But back when I didn't have my shit together, I was eating like full on cheeseburgers and like falling asleep halfway through my second set.
I quit all of this stuff.
What do you mean all this stuff?
I mean, I didn't quit, but I was doing the nutritionist and doing the 8 ounces of meat.
It was too much. You were going nuts.
I was going nuts, and I just in the last couple weeks lost 9 pounds.
Wow.
From quitting all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I stopped eating meat also because I was like, I mean, I eat like fish, but I was like, the meat, I'm so disgusted by meat from eating it so much that I was like, I'm taking a break from it, and just immediately was like, dropped weight instantaneously.
You might not be a meat eater. You might be just a little pescatarian, little fish babe.
I'm a fish baby.
I think you're a fish baby.
The meat was like killing me, and the working out was killing me. My legs got huge. I was like waddling from spot to spot. I felt very bad.
You look great.
Thanks. Yeah. Now, I mean, I eat once a day. I eat one big meal a day.
Really?
Well, I mean, I had like oatmeal this morning, but yeah, I don't eat very much. I don't need much food. And I was like doing what Sid said, which was eating like 1600 or, and she was like, you have to eat this. And then the nutritionist was like, you have to eat this. And I was like, okay. And I just was like force feeding myself.
I think you just got to listen to your own body.
Dude, it's such a dang racket, the nutritionist thing.
I know.
They don't know shit.
Well, I mean, it helped me a ton. Like
yes.
but I was also a former athlete. Like I was Sid, you know.
Yeah.
I was doing double days. I was working out all the time. I was a runner. I was playing soccer all the time. So like my body that's what I was used to. And then I went away from that because I started drinking too much and being a little party fun time.
Yeah.
And then got back to it. But my body changed, so I wasn't eating right, but I was still doing all the movement. So then once I figured out the eating and giving my body the fuel it needed to make the best out of the movement, it was like, oh yeah, here we go.
My body is like, I've never experienced the sensation of hunger, really. I mean, I will if I don't eat all day.
Yeah.
But like, I don't have between meal. I have no, and the doctor was like, your metabolism is so insanely slow and your heart is beating so slow that you need no food. And he was like, that's so good for if you are in a famine, but unfortunately you're not. So you're fucked.
Yeah.
So
you have an abundance.
Yeah.
Of food.
If we were out in the wild, I would eat you over the course of months and months.
That's nice. You'd be gone in 3 days.
Yeah. It would take me forever to get through your body.
I'm hungry right now.
Yeah. It's crazy. But so I feel better about that. And also I just was, if you go through like recovery stuff, you have to do top line behaviors, which is like good stuff for yourself. And I was like, oh yeah, boxing. And then I was like, I'll do it 3 days a week. I'll do it 5 days a week.
Yeah.
And
you're going a little nuts with the boxing.
Now I need recovery from boxing.
I like it. I'm very similar to you in that when I find something I like, I do it too much. Like I obsess over it and it becomes my thing. So I did that with boxing. I did that with soccer, obviously. I did that with drinking.
But now
I did that with comedy. Since I started going to therapy, I've mellowed out. Yeah. It's more moderation now. Now I can have like a glass of wine and be done.
Yeah.
Although I got the itch last night. Last night I had a glass of wine with my friend Jill. You know Jill Ween?
Yeah.
Jill Wiener?
Jill Weenie.
We went to, my friend works at a steakhouse, so we went to a steakhouse. And I was like, I'm having this nice steak. I may as well have a glass of wine. I had a glass of wine. It was nice. And then I went to a show that I did not want to do. It was one of those like Soho House rich people situations, and I hate performing for the rich.
It's awful.
They don't deserve it. Anyway.
They also don't like hearing that they're rich, and you get on stage and you like don't mention that they're rich, and then you walk up and you go, rich? It's so
your jacket could pay off my student loans.
It's like, crazy because you can't help it. It's like the hottest like mixed race woman who's like this elegant 6'9" model, and you're like, money, and she's like, fuck you, and you're like, sorry.
It was so last night I had a glass of wine, and because I was so self-conscious that I had a glass of wine, that I just did my jokes and I had a great set.
Oh
yeah, I was
good.
like, oh, I didn't realize you guys just want to hear me talk.
That is what they want.
Yeah, they just want the jokes.
Yeah.
Okay. And then but like after that, because I was so anxious about that, I was like, I want to have more drinks. And I was like, there it is. It's the anxiety. I get anxious and I want to drink because I know drinking makes me fun.
Why'd you have anxiety?
Because I didn't want to do that show. And then
but then you did it.
Yeah, I did it. And then it was, but I had another glass of wine before the show.
Yeah.
I didn't mention that. So that's
right. We're at 3.
No. We're at 2. So I had a glass of wine at lunch, and then I went to go do
lunch?
the show. Yeah. It was a lunch. It was yesterday.
What day was yesterday? You had a wine at 3?
I had wine at 3. I had wine at 3 with the steak. It was me and Jill's little like fun little date night.
This is what people with booze do. They go, there was a bird in the window, so I thought maybe me and the bird.
Well, when am I gonna do it? I work at night.
That's a
so
good
it's
point.
like
that's a good point.
Lunch is my going out date,
Yeah.
And we do this once every 2-3 months. Like
that's nice.
We go to a nice steakhouse that our friend works
at.
Yeah. John, we used to work together at another restaurant where he saw me get belligerent. He's seen every mistake I've ever made.
So would you feel better if you were just like, I'm not touching that shit anymore ever again?
No.
Do you have the thing where you wake up and you're like, am I going to drink tonight?
No.
You don't?
I used to.
Yeah.
But then I started going to therapy. I listened to that book on tape. And now
what was that?
The Alan Carr's Easy Way.
Oh, he has one for drinking?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
He has one for drinking. I listened to it on tape. You actually told me to listen to it on tape.
Oh, yeah, because I did the smoking one.
Yeah.
Because he does a hypnotist thing.
It's great.
Yeah.
And so since that, and I think I actually listened to the one that was like easy way to curb your drinking.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. And so for a while, I just wasn't drinking at all. Then I would have a glass of wine here and there. And that's where I'm at now. Although when my friend was in town, my Italian friend was in town, I went nuts.
Nuts is in like every night drinking a drink, or nuts is in like blacking out?
No, never blacking out.
So,
I will say that part of my life is over.
Remember blacking out and just being like waking up and having people be like, you were like this, and you're like, wait, so I was just exactly the same person? That was always weird to me. They were like, you climbed a tree in the middle of the night, you were like talking to us about Nietzsche or something, and I'm like, so I was just more fun me?
Yeah. The worst is when you wake up after blacking out, look at your phone, and there's no texts. Just nothing. And you're like, oh my God, no, I could be dead. No one likes me, or I got away with it. What happened? Who am I supposed to talk to?
Every time I got drunk, because I'm a love addict and not an alcoholic, every time I got drunk, it was just find sex as soon as humanly possible. Send all the texts you need to send. Go out to any bar where you can find it. Do a full... that was like the whole agenda. Or it was, can we please stay in and get really fucked up and play card games?
That's fun.
Yeah.
See, I would love to just play like Monopoly and have one glass of wine.
Yeah.
That sounds like a great night to me.
Yeah, I can.
And then have sex afterwards.
Yeah. I can have one glass of wine but it just makes me feel like depressed. I get very depressed.
Yeah. No, the day after I drink too much, that's when I get really depressed. So I have to like...
So when Italian was in town, did you guys did you do anything crazy, or you just were like no abandon?
There was only one night where we got a little too drunk. Yeah. And it was like we were just having so much fun. We were just hanging out and talking. We went to a bar, and then he was like, "It's 4 a.m." And we were like, "You're closing the bar?" And both of us were both old, so we're like, "Oh my God, who are we?" And then I went to pay for it. My card got rejected. Because it's like, we think this is fraud. There's no way you're out at a bar at 4 a.m. Wow. I was like, okay, I've really changed my life.
Wow. Yeah. The bank is like, shut it down.
Yeah. There's no way this is you. You've been a good girl for 3 years.
Wow, that's crazy.
I know. And then he had to pay for it. And I was like, I'll Venmo you. And then
whatever. Let that fucker pay for it. What the hell?
I did. I let him. I didn't Venmo him.
Good. Jesus.
Yeah.
So, okay. But so you've done you're back, you're like, I can drink a little bit, I can do everything. Are you working out obsessively like you were?
Yeah, it's still, I'm still broken.
But it's once a day now, right? Or you were doing twice a day before.
I was doing twice a day. And I still do twice a day, twice a week.
How the fuck?
Well, it's just like I'll do a strength training.
Yeah.
And then I'll do a cycle after.
Oh,
you know what I mean? So it's not really like, it's spending 2 hours in the gym instead of just one.
Yeah.
And I do that 2 times a week. So whenever it's arm day, I'll also add on a cycle. But today is just cycle day, and same as Saturday. I mean, I'm also revving up for something. I'm trying to look good for the end of the month. But it's also...
when you get your period.
When I get my period. When I bleed out of my coochie.
For when I get my period.
That's it. I just want to be so svelte when I attract sharks.
That's really fun that you have something to do it for.
Yeah. But then as soon as that's done, what am I going to fill the void with, You'll
just do it again.
Yeah.
You just have another thing to look forward to. That's how comedy works. It gives us little nuggets that don't pay us anything.
Yeah.
That go, you're doing a good job. And you go, thanks.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of people go around you and they go, can I have the money you're making from this? You don't need it. And you go, yeah, I don't need it. You can have it. That's what happens.
I would love for that to happen. I just got hit with my student loan bills. And I think that's also why I drank so much.
While your student loan bills, you got to fucking do foot stuff or something. Get that out of here. How much more do you have left?
$200.
No way.
And $25,000.
Oh my God, that's so.
Who wants to pay that much money to see my feet? Come on.
They're really cute.
They are. I take very good care of them.
They're really cute feet. They're not finger feet like mine.
No, you got huge feet, girl. I was like, do you want my old shoes? You're like,
like,
I'm a size 10.
I'm a 10. Look at that thing.
Yeah, but they're good. They're good looking hands.
Paddles. Very good swimmer.
I bet you are.
So wait, what were we just talking about? Oh, student loans, because you went to grad school.
Because I went to grad school for a degree I do not use. I made a huge mistake when I was 21 years old, and I will live with it.
They
for the rest of
shouldn't
my
let
life.
us do that.
They should not. It was totally a predatory trap, especially for the school that I went to and the amount of grad students they let in. It was like, oh, usually a grad school will let in 12 to 15, and I think they let in 50.
Oh.
Yeah. So
that's a lot of money.
Yes.
They get.
But it is also a prestigious school. Like, it's a good school.
Which school was it?
Pratt Institute.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it was like, I don't regret the degree.
Yeah.
Because I did learn and I met all my friends, but I just don't use it. And it was too expensive for what it was. It was like art summer camp for 2 years.
Really?
Yeah.
So much sex.
Yeah. Sex, booze. There was a place called Rope Bar where they sold $1 PBRs.
Yeah.
Every Monday. So we would go to Rope Bar and they would just hand us a 12-pack in the box still. And we'd go in the backyard, just chain smoke cigarettes and talk about art. But mostly I was like out of my depth. So I was like, who wants to make out?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. This was me in philosophy school. I felt very prestigious and very intelligent.
Yeah.
And they were just siphoning money off me. I could have just gone to a section of the library and been just as...
Yeah, I graduated with honors and I was like, cute.
Yeah.
Adorable.
Yeah.
My mom's proud, but I know I didn't earn this.
It's so crazy to have that much debt, though. Can you just not pay it? That's what I do. No, you have to pay it.
I have to pay something. I'm on the income contingent plan, but because of comedy, I had a good year last year.
Oh, they're fucking you.
They're fucking me, but they also didn't take out my expenses. So there's like my gross income is different from what I actually made. So they did like what I actually made, and then my gross income is a third of it.
If somebody was like doing OnlyFans where you jerk off in front of the camera, it's only going to go to one weird guy. $200,000. Would you do it?
For sure.
Wow. Really?
Absolutely.
But you don't know if he's screen recording.
Oh, that's true. I'd have to make sure. There'd have to be steps involved. But yeah.
What if he's screen recording?
If he's screen recording?
But it's just your vagina, no face.
No. You got to get the goods. If I'm jerking off, you better know who it is,
but
baby.
You would do it. I met a girl the other day while I was on stage who does an OnlyFans where she pretends men are tiny. You heard of this? Giantess?
No.
And she's like, I'm going to pick you up and eat you. And they jerk off and she makes money off that.
I would do that in a second.
I know.
I would love to like yell at men. Like if I could be their trainer without actually training them. You'd be like,
you could do that.
Your small fucking muscles. They're so tiny. You got nothing. Come on. Yeah, that's all you got. You can't even squat, you piece of shit.
The problem is that you can't just do that to a man who's just like wearing pants and standing out in the world. They do have to be touching their penises in order to feel okay about it.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
Really?
If I don't have to see them touch their penises?
No, you have to see it.
Why do you have to see it?
Because you're yelling at them and they're looking at you.
Yeah, I can see their face, but I don't need to know what they're doing underneath.
Watch my face. I'll do it.
You're a piece of shit. Yeah, that's fine.
That doesn't scare you? Look at my face.
Not at all. I get those anyway. I get those anyway.
Oh.
I get those from Instagram and TikTok. The amount of TikTok heavy breathing, Facebook. It's like whenever I get like a weird DM, I send it immediately to Nathan McIntosh.
Yeah.
And he's always like,
that's good because he's a damn dog.
Yeah.
Nathan's a goddamn dog. He needs to see what men are out there fucking doing.
I know. Yeah, he thinks his sex is totally fine.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
We've gotten into screaming matches about gender where I'm standing up on a chair yelling down at him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we've yelled it out a few times.
Yeah. It is I get the DMs too that are really scary. I got like a really sincere one the other day that was like,
oh, that's sweet.
it's taken so much in me to ask you this. Do you think that when you're here you could go on a date with me? And I just was like, delete. Like what the fuck am I supposed to do?
I know. There's not much you can do.
The other thing is,
it's so unattractive. If you like me for my comedy, it's so repulsive to me. You can like me first and then like my comedy. That's fine. But if you like my comedy first, it's such on stage, that is such an extreme version of myself that if it's like.
That's the other problem that I've had to get away from is the like, I'm dykey. I'll squish you with my.
Yeah.
That's like a weird shift that's happened where I've started getting like hostile towards myself for that because I'm like, I'm like trying to be way less like I mean, I still have to do the I'm not gay thing because the way my voice sounds and the clothes that I wear no matter how hard I try, people are like, you have a gay body frame and hands and face, you know, and I'm like, all right. But it is like, I've had to, you know, it's like I've had to pivot away from the whole, like, I can change your carburetor thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to talk about like love addiction and stuff. Like sometimes I'll get off stage. For a while I was getting off stage and being like, I don't even feel like that. I don't have sex that much. I don't even like sex that much. That sounds like I want sex bad, but I also want to do it in this way that is, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm just like a scared little girl who happens to emulate my mommy who's a dyke. Yeah, I'm just literally doing what my mommy does so that I don't have to be scared. You know what I mean? And people are like, you're strong. I'm like, no. And they're like, you ride a motorcycle. I'm like, I ride a motorcycle to hopefully die.
Yeah. I'm trying to actively end my life.
You know what I mean? Like, people are like, no, that's sick. And I'm like, it's not. It's a bicycle that is heavy.
Yeah.
But
it's actually more convenient than a car.
Yeah.
That is why I ride it.
And illegal. Like, I didn't have to do anything. I just slapped some fake plates on it.
Really? Don't tell the world.
You can get away from all the cops. You
got some cops listening to this thing.
No,
I keep looking at this camera. It's like a space
It's
age thing. It's crazy. It's wild.
Yeah, I don't know why they look like that.
I don't know.
You know what it looks like? An alien.
It does look like an alien. It looks like... Anyway. I had to get away from the I'm a lesbian thing too. But that's because I realized that I was dressing like...
You're as far as gay as humanly possible.
I know. Well, I was dressing in a certain way because I was hiding. I didn't like my body. I didn't like the way I looked. And then I got in shape and I like myself now. And now I find that I have to be nicer on stage because people don't like a mean, pretty bitch.
No, my sister dyed her hair brunette one year because everybody hated her.
Yeah.
Because she was so hot and blonde.
It's so upsetting.
It's crazy.
Like when I used to hit on guys on the stage when I was bigger, it would get a huge
Their
laugh.
girlfriends would laugh because you were a big fat uggo.
Yeah.
Isn't that awful? The
now,
girlfriends are like, yeah, try and fuck my man fatty.
Yeah.
And then you look attractive and then everybody hates you. You're like, what the fuck?
Or they're like, I'd do it. And you're like,
yeah, that sucks. That sucks. I remember when that started happening, when I would hit on somebody and they'd be like, let me get your number. And I'd be like, I want to go home.
Yeah.
I want to go home.
I am all talk, okay? If I hit on you from the stage, it's not real. Just know that. Stop DMing me. Because I get real. DMs. Here's my phone number. One guy just DM'd me his address. Hey, this is Josh.
Address is hilarious.
This is my address. And I was like, you really don't understand what we're doing up there.
Address is super funny. What do you think? What does he think you're going to do?
I know. Just, okay, I'll see you in 10.
It's because he was jerking off and he was like, what if she just showed up at my house? Wouldn't that be so hot? And then he was like, I'll just send the address just so I can think that that possibly might happen.
Also, he was like 26, 27. And so it's like, oh, he's like, I'm going to send her right. She's never going to come. And then what if I actually did show up? And I was like, pull it down.
Yeah.
You said you were good at fingering. Let's find out.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I think he was hoping that.
Yeah. Maybe deep seated. He was like, maybe she is just a big old whore.
I think he was thinking, I think he was mid jerk off is when that stuff happens, when they fire off their, I think it's like full dick. Because I've heard about my friends cheating and they're like, I was just jerking off and I found a sex site and did it. And I think that the retards that are texting us or that are DMing us that are like, I want to I think it's totally mid hard cock. And then later they're like, just pretend that didn't happen.
Yeah.
I don't think it's happening like over a crossword puzzle in the morning.
I mean, the way that I do that, whenever I'm like, I want to have sex, I'm literally just like, so how was your day?
Yeah.
The guy I want to have
sex with. And nothing else.
What you doing?
Yeah.
How did your show go?
I've become so not sexual. Well, I've just been exiting a depression, which was a good depression.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was a good one.
I
needed it.
Sometimes you got to be low.
Low. Sleepy.
Yeah. Your body needs to catch up.
It was crazy. Yeah, my body was like, you sit down.
Well, you've also been working out like a maniac for the past like 6 months. Like insane.
Crazy.
Which is, I mean, we got peaks and valleys, baby.
I liked that valley though, finally. That's fucked up when your life gets so chaotic that you welcome a depression where you alienate everybody from your life.
Well, maybe don't call it a depression, call it a sleep phase. You know, rest bit.
It was
just a little respite.
It was a respite.
Yeah.
It was. I also think I went upstate and worked carpentry for a week and realized I was happier than I'd been in a really long time because I was waking up at 7 a.m. working all day and passing out at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
And feeling very good. And then I got back to New York where it's like, you're going to need an espresso at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Why? Because you have 2 shows. After the shows, what are you going to do with that energy? Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Overthink everything.
Overthink everything till 4 a.m. Binge watch some horrible true crime thing that makes you doubt that love is real.
I know.
What the fuck?
What the fuck? I realized there's reasons why I was hooking up with a certain person, and it was because he was pre-vetted. I already knew that he wasn't a creep. He wasn't an asshole. He was a nice guy because my friends already knew him and they gave him the vouch. And then I meet people in the wild and I'm like, I don't know, you could take my eyelids. You could take all of my freckles from my body.
It's the unfamiliarity is really scary.
Yeah.
I envy people who go out and have one night stands. My guy friends can do that all the time. But as a woman, you're like, it's not only are they scary, but it's like
riding a motorcycle. You want to die if you have a one night stand as a woman.
Yeah. And also you like when you meet a guy, every layer you unfold is like a new, like as a woman, it's like we present ourselves immediately. We're like, I'm a comedian. I'm really insecure. This is how I feel about this. I don't need red meat. Men are like, what's up? And then you just slowly have to figure out what it is. And then you're like, oh my God, full autism, tiny penis, weird, scary little badger hands that I didn't notice at first. You know what I mean? Like, it reminds me of this short story that I can't remember what it's called, but this girl like is kind of like, this guy is pursuing this girl. And then at the end, the like daylight comes and she looks at him and realizes that his like hair is slightly askew and he like has a wig. And she's like, oh my God, I saw him so differently. And now by the light, I'm like, and it reminds me of that with men where you're just like slowly being like, oh no, I was wrong. I thought these things and now I'm locked in and now you're falling in more because I presented myself honestly up front. And it's not their fault. They're just not made to just like be an open book like we are. We have to be an open book.
Yeah, we have to be an open book.
Yeah.
My therapist said something to me. I was like telling her that I was like, this is the first time I'm not like obsessing over a man, you know? And she was like, well, why don't you obsess over yourself? And I was like, that sounds disgusting.
I know. It's crazy.
It's like, why would I, that sounds like it's against everything I've ever been taught.
Yeah.
You know, we're supposed to be like super pleasing, super accommodating, like that's selfish, you know? And so it's like, I've always been presenting myself to a man just like, huh?
Well, the other fucked up thing is the way that we obsess about ourselves the best is if a man is
obsessed with us.
Yeah. That's the fucked up thing.
Or if he's not obsessed with us and I'm trying to get him to be obsessed with me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if there's no witness.
Yeah. Then who is this for?
Yeah. Snacky snacks.
It's supposed to be for me.
It's crazy.
It's exhausting. It's like I'm trying to get to that mindset, but I keep fucking this guy.
Dude, the funniest thing happened last night, speaking about guys. The guy was over at my house and we got into this big fight and I was like, get out of here. And then he left. And I like went over to the window to see if he really left. And I stuck my head out there. I stuck my head in the window and he turned around and was like, what the fuck? And I was like, and I ducked down. It was so funny. He came immediately back in and we were hysterically laughing. He was like, that was so scary to turn around and have your big head in the window just like.
And you're high up there, so.
I was way up there. It was crazy. And just immediately he turned around, what the and I just ducked. He was like, I see you. I see what you're doing.
Yeah, but he also needs to realize that he turned around to look.
He did.
Come on.
He did. But imagine turning around and I'm just, my eyes just.
That's all he wanted. He wanted that. That's what he was hoping for. For him, that's the best case scenario, though your little bug eyes just creeping out the window. Hello? Are you really going?
I think it's like alarming because you think you're going to look up at a New York City building and there'll be like a lot of depth between whoever's in the window. Like it's going to be far away. But I think like in reality, it's like the window's like 30 feet up. Like it's right there. And I'm just like in a painting. Like it's very, when I'm on acid, I realize that so much where I'm like, there's somebody in a bed. Like I could easily, if there were no walls, just hit them right now in their room. But by day we like trick ourselves into thinking everything's farther apart, but to just turn and I'm like, right here.
Are you going or are you coming back?
I can't believe I ducked.
I mean, yeah, it was like playing peekaboo.
So stupid.
You're just a bad detective following.
It's so fucked up. As if I would have let him leave and not immediately called him like, we're going. It's so fucked up. I have to practice not doing that.
It's hard.
It's really hard for me. I do it with every small fight. I'm like, well, just go. And that's the last thing I want. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I do relationships. I break up so many times in them. You stay steady.
That's also my biggest problem. It's like I stay steady to my detriment.
Yeah.
So I stayed steady for 6 years, and then,
6
but
years.
before that, I was staying steady for 2 years, and before that, 2 years, and before that, 4 years. So I literally just go from long term to long term. I think I did the math, and I've been single for like 3 months in the past like 12, 15 years.
6 years is long. I mean, you were totally locked in. You were engaged.
Mm-hmm.
You were engaged.
I was engaged. Yeah. Yeah. Every once in a while, my phone pops up the memories of me trying on wedding dresses, and I immediately send them to you.
You look 50 years old.
I look.
It's crazy.
Not one of them I was smiling.
And you're a different person.
Yeah.
Like your hair's, you look like a
Look so bad.
a prude lady. You know what I mean?
I was going to walk down the aisle looking like that. Like, it's crazy.
It's bizarre.
I mean, the whole... Yeah.
I just saw some article I was going to send you that was like weight loss and the detriment of relationships or something.
I mean...
It's fucked up because it's not the fact that it's the fact that you realize that like you had control over your own life.
Yeah, it's literally getting off the couch. It's like I felt like I was in like a 4-year respite, you know.
Yeah.
I was in a 4-year slump where I just kind of let things happen to me. I had no control. I was just depressed watching HGTV shows, which is like, when I look back at that, I'm like, that's insane.
It's
the
really
way
dark.
I was like obsessed with them. And just, I would wake up, immediately go back on the couch, watch these things, go do shows, and then drink. Like, that was my life.
Yeah.
And it's so scary that I was like, oh yeah, this is the best it could be. At one point I was like, this is the best. This is all I have.
Well,
and
that's
this
what
is
my
all I
therapist
need.
said is like, he said that if you're in a relationship where both people are willing to work at it, it doesn't get any better than that. And I remember getting so depressed when he said that. It was like, what does that mean? Everybody should just stick it out. And I think he's like, yeah, which is.
I mean, I get that. There's a security in that. If you're a person, I think if that person still makes you laugh and makes you feel joy, and both people are willing to try and keep that, then yeah, stick it out. But if you're sticking it out and there's no joy, then you got to find where the joy is.
Yeah.
You
also did a good job. You did all the things. You did the couples therapy. You did all the attempts at everything, and it just you like didn't do a bail. There was no bailing.
I bailed. I look back at it now. I bailed a little bit. I probably should have done the therapy sooner, but I think I had already made up my mind a little bit. In ways, you know. But also, I don't regret it. You know, I think it was just a little unfair to him.
Yeah.
But I don't regret where I'm at now, because this is where I have to be. This is where I should have been 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe not 4, maybe 2.
Do you feel like time wasted?
No.
That's good.
No, I don't feel time wasted. I think I did at first because I was so unhappy. But then through therapy, I was able to see it. Like, we had so many good times.
Yeah.
We had great time. He was a great support system. He was funny. He's kind. He didn't abuse me. You know, and I've been in those bad relationships where I've been taken advantage of and mentally abused and stuff like that. So it's like, no, this was a good, healthy relationship.
The upskirt guy.
Upskirt guy. That'll fuck you up. I'll tell you what. That guy was the worst. And then the one before him was also very bad.
She dated a guy who took upskirt photos of women on trains.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then when I found the pictures, tried to gaslight me and be like, that's not what you saw.
Do you ever go through men's phones?
I used to go through my ex's phone, but
People just be doing this. I never do this.
I didn't go. I would go through it with his permission.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was never. I would never like.
People
look at it.
are sneaking phones and finding. Like, every audience member I talk to is like, I found his phone, and I'm like, why would you look?
Major trust issues.
Major trust issues. Like, people I know are like, I looked through his phone. I refuse. The other day, the guy was putting his passcode like over my face because we were playing a puzzle game, and I was like, like, I don't want to see it. I don't want to
really.
I don't want to fucking know what's in there. I don't want to see fucking anything.
I mean, honestly, when I went through my ex's phone, all I found was comic book stuff, and I think that was more
Yeah.
depressing. It was like, give me tits, just anything.
Yeah, a girl that sends tits, and he's like, thanks, but I have a girlfriend. Anything. To
Yeah,
tell her that.
anything,
Yeah.
but just fucking comic books.
I just know that every dude is doing something. You know, like even I wouldn't want anybody going through my phone. I also just, I know what I'll find. If somebody cheats on me, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. If I have a terminal illness, I don't want to know. Let me live. If you plan on staying with me and you fuck somebody else, don't tell me. Don't want to know. I obsess about it.
Oh, see, I would want to know because I'm too competitive.
Oh.
So if he cheated on me with another woman, I'd be like, I gotta fucking, who's this? Who? Or even,
But not if you didn't know.
if I didn't know, then that person would have something over me. And I would hate that feeling. I would hate that feeling. They think they're better than me in some way. It's like
Yeah,
the
but you're
Beyonce feeling.
protected. You're the sacred thing that must be protected.
Yeah, but I also don't need to be sacred. I'd value honesty.
Have you been cheated on?
Oh yeah.
Really? Me too.
Yeah.
Which one?
Upskirt guy tried to cheat on me with my friends, which was crazy.
Nice.
Yeah, super fun.
Nice.
He tried to invite himself over for massages. Yeah, crazy.
He's a maniac.
He's a maniac.
Was he really hot or something?
No. This is where that's the one that I regret, because he was so not hot. He was so not anything. He was nothing.
Was he calf tattoo also?
No, calf tattoo I would have given my soul for.
Okay.
He was so hot that I was like, here,
Was
take
he
anything.
before upskirt?
No, he was after.
Oh, so heart broke. Oh, wait. Calf was after upskirt.
Yes.
Okay, so upskirt was on the tail of.
Upskirt, he was in his 30s and I was early 20s.
Oh, groomed.
It was very groomy situation.
Was he cool or something?
I thought he was really smart.
Oh, okay, yeah. And
Yeah.
You were dumb. He was smart.
Yes, I thought he was so smart.
You went to college. You were like imposter syndrome. I'm
Yeah.
not as smart as these artists. Then you meet him. He's willing to.
He's willing to think and he, he doesn't believe in monogamy, but for me, he just likes me so much. And then he would break up with me and then call me back 2 days later and be like, I just found out, I wanted to hang out with you. So maybe we should give it. He broke up with me, I think 3 or 4 times, just constantly. I don't want monogamy, but no one else would fuck him because he's ugly and gross. And I would. I was just like under his spell for some reason. He also could play the piano very well. Anyone who has like a skill, I love. And he was a sculptor.
I also was under the spell of a sculptor for many years.
What is it about that? They can use a chisel and we lose our fucking mind?
I don't know.
It's not.
It's because it's a masculine person doing something feminine, I think. Like doing something crafty that is like, it takes a certain level of like not being a brute.
Yeah. Finesse.
Yeah.
Takes a little finesse.
When a guy can draw or has good handwriting.
Yeah. That's so true. See, whenever a guy is musical.
Yeah.
And calf tattoo, he used to write poetry.
That's gay.
It was so hot.
Was it good?
Because he was good. No, I didn't read any of it. He just said, this is my little book for my little poems. And I was like, I bet it is.
I bet it is. Yeah, I had songs written about me by a musician that kept me in a relationship that was bad for 2.5 years.
Of course. You're the muse.
It's really fucked up.
We all want to be the muse.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be the muse of one damn jokes, though.
No, they sure don't.
They sure don't.
Yeah.
I got cheated on because I was like, I planted the seed. Have you ever done that? Just introduce them to the concept of cheating so they do it? God.
No.
Where I was just like, he was like, oh, Connor, that my friend's, cousin is going to be joining the farm that he was working on. And I was like, oh, you're going to fuck her. She's really hot. And he was like, what? And I was like, oh, she's so hot and she loves sex. And he's like, you don't even know her. And I'm like, I can tell. I've seen photos. She loves cock. And he was like, okay, well, we're in a relationship, so I'm not going to cheat. And I was like, yeah, right. And then he just fucked her because he was like, all right, well, I'm already getting punished for this.
Yeah, I'm already in trouble.
Yeah. And I had literally forced him to picture having sex with her so many times.
Yeah. Then he's like, oh, that does sound awesome.
Yeah, it sounds actually really good. It sounds way better than you because we don't have sex. You just spend all this time staring into my face going, who did you fuck? Who did you fuck? It's crazy.
We're all a little broken.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first guy I ever fell in love with, he was in the military, and he actually turned out he was engaged.
Oh my God.
But he didn't tell me. I didn't know. And then he went to Afghanistan, and I waited for him to come back. And then his ex-girlfriend or his fiance calls me, and she's like, Adam blah, blah, blah is my partner. And I was like, no, he's my boyfriend. And then a whole thing, and it became a big old drama.
Did it get catfighty?
I mean, no, we never saw each other. She was very passive as well.
She was passive. She wasn't passive. Like, you fucking dumb bitch.
No. She was very like, oh, I'm a victim. I'm the sacred one who needs to be protected.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
She played that card and I was the other woman. And then he told me like, she's crazy. We broke up and we were just putting on, a good face for Christmas. That's why you found that picture of us together on MySpace or whatever. Yeah. And then
how old were you?
I had just turned 21. So I was very young, and he was, I think, in his 30s,
And then how'd you find out the truth?
He broke up with me, and then he came back after he got whatever it's called when you
dispatched,
whatever, yes,
disparaged,
disgraced. Yeah, whenever he came back to America because he was done fighting a war.
What
we didn't need to fight.
Hell?
Anyway,
released?
I don't know.
Come on. Dispatched? No.
Discharged.
Discharged?
That sounds
That's
like
what comes
something.
out of our vagina. I
think it's similar. Someone's screaming at their phone right now. I think it's just discharged.
Nuh-uh.
I think it's discharged.
It's not discharged.
Okay, check it. Look at it.
Bless Bishop. Hi, Bishop. What's it called when somebody gets released from their military stint?
I told you it's pussy juice.
Caitlin was right. It's pussy juice. Wait, and then what is the amount of time served as a soldier called? Term?
The amount of time served as a soldier is typically called a term or tour of duty.
Tour of duty.
Tour of duty.
Yeah, he was on tour in Afghanistan. He came back after he was discharged, after he was pussy juiced.
Discharged.
And I know, so unsettling. We've had discharge way before the military.
Yeah.
So
discharge fucked up.
Yeah.
It's a fucked up thing.
He came home. We got back together for like 2 weeks. And then he said, okay, I'm going to pick you up for a date on Friday. And he flew out back home to his fiance on Thursday.
No wonder you were with
creepy upskirt guy,
but also good boy for 6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because it was so safe and he liked me so much and I knew he would never cheat on me. But also there has to be a equilibrium.
The problem was the way that he liked you would get cumbersome, which is an issue. It would get like, you would be like, I want to do this. And he'd be like, okay, we'll make that happen. You'd be like, well, we don't need to do that. I'm just saying what I want. He'd be like, no, we'll do it. And it's like, no, that doesn't make sense for you to uproot this whole thing so that, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It was like this over chivalrous thing. And then you would get hostile. And then you'd be like, I'm being an asshole when he's trying to be nice. And I would be like, no. It's like he's weaponizing niceness by accident.
Yeah.
It was I remember watching and being like, no.
Yeah. And it's also a big issue when you don't know what you want yourself. So like I was kind of lost in what I wanted and what I wanted to do. So I would throw it out there and then everything was let's do that. Well,
you ever do a thing where you're like, sometimes I'll do this thing where I'm like, we have to like go on dates, that's what we have to do, right? Mm-hmm. And then you'll like plan the date and you're like, that's what we're doing, and then you're like, I don't want this, I want to sit in my house while you scroll and I edit. Like I don't want this date is like like I make this whole plan because I'm like, this is what a relationship, or like I'll do this with sex a lot. Where I'll be like, we haven't had sex in a week. We should have sex in order to maintain the relationship. So I'll force myself to have sex. And then halfway through, I'm like, I didn't want to have sex.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm just doing this inorganically for some.
I totally, that sex part, when I had my IUD in, it killed my sex drive.
Yeah.
Completely demolished it. But I was like, he's going to cheat on me if I don't fuck him.
Yeah.
So I need to fuck him.
And then you
so
resented him for having to fuck. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was also, my IUD changed everything. I love sex. Oh my God. The other day with Mr. Salami, we didn't have sex. We just were hanging out. It was the last day he was leaving. And I was like, great. I got the ick. I feel fine. Yeah. This is just done. And then we just I laid on his chest for a half hour. And I was like, oh no.
Yeah, what did you do? That's how you get dopamine.
Oh no.
How dare you?
And then he also felt, he was like, this was nice. Like, oh no, we fucked up. We had it till the very
You
end.
can't do the chest lay.
No, the chest lay.
The chest lay is replicating father-daughter dynamic, which is where the dopamine comes from.
No.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I have never laid on my father's chest.
What?
Maybe as like an infant.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
That feeling of infant large man protector thing is the highest form of. I was talking to my therapist about this. I was like, listen to me. Sir.
I love you telling Alan, listen to me.
I was like, Alan, you have to help me. I was like, I love how Alan will yell at me. The other day he was like, you suck. And I was like, oh, and he was like, you don't suck, but you have to hear this. And I was like, okay, because I was bad at saying I can't do things with people, like not making plans.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, just tell them you'll think about it and bail later. And I was like, no, I'll just tell them in person. He's like, you can't, you suck. And I was like, okay, you're right.
I got yelled at by my therapist yesterday too.
Really?
Because I told her about the chest lay and she was like, what are you doing?
The chest lay. Because, okay, I was talking to him and I was like, that feeling of replicating the father-daughter dynamic of having the daddy protect you. I was like, that is my favorite feeling. How you're telling me that's like, what I'm hearing is that's addiction. That's not good. That's toxicity. And he was like, no, I'm telling you, we all want that feeling of the return to the childhood self. We all want it. We all deserve it. We all get it. But you're giving it to people who haven't earned it.
Oh.
So you can get that feeling of your very committed partner who's been taking care of you and lay on their chest and be like, I'm safe with them. But giving it to Salami, is dangerous because he hasn't earned that. And his chest feels safe because it is of your dad's.
Yeah.
Or like a strong man who will protect you biologically. Feels incredible.
I mean, it was literally, it's
the best drug. It's why I could never, ever be gay. Have you ever had a woman put her head on your chest? You're like, insufficient funds. This is insufficient. Not doing anything. Or your head on a woman's chest, bony and bad.
See, I love it when a man will lay his head on my stomach, like on my core.
Yeah, because you want a baby in there that he's listening to.
Oh my God.
It's fucked up.
It's so fucked
I held my friend's baby the other day. You know I have been anti-kids. Immediately I'm like, oh, I'm having kids.
Yeah.
It's retarded.
You got to freeze your eggs.
I'm 33.
Freeze them now.
I'm not doing it. You were fucked.
What do you mean?
You felt really bad.
For 1 month.
That's a long time.
But then it's like, then you don't have to think about it.
Bad.
I did feel bad.
You were like.
And I tried to do it again, but I couldn't afford it because of my student loans.
Why'd you want to do it again? How many you got in there?
I only got 8.
How many you want?
I want 15.
You're getting greedy.
Well, I think they said something like 9 eggs equals 1 baby. Like statistically.
Come on.
So that's why I'm like, let's just do another
You know
round.
what? Why can't this shit be free?
I know.
It's
I think
crazy.
It should be.
If you make it free, then you're fostering educated, planning parents to have responsible kids.
Yeah.
If you make it not free, then we're shooting
just
shots.
Teenagers are shooting loads.
Yeah. But freezing, because you felt super hormonal, right? Like,
yeah. It mimics the feeling of being pregnant. And so when I got my eggs frozen, I was like, oh, when I get pregnant, I'm going to be a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you were still working.
Yeah. I was also still working. That was crazy. That was insane.
So where are they?
They're in a warehouse in Jersey.
Not crazy.
No.
So could you grab them and then would you throw them all in there?
All of my eggs in there? No, they would defrost them and then they would pick the best ones and then put little jizzes in the ones that made it, and then they see if they turn into embryos, and then once they turn into embryos, they implant those into your uterus.
Ugh.
Yeah.
How do they implant it? No.
I actually don't know.
But did you have to get lots of what was it like to freeze your egg? Shots?
Shots. Yeah. You have to do shots into your fucking
How do they
uterus.
get the egg out?
They put you under. Yeah, that's the last thing I remember was going onto a table, spreading my legs, and a man going, okay, let's go. And then putting on little goggles. And going,
Nuh-uh.
And then out.
He put goggles on?
Oh, yeah. These
He was
little
going
goggles.
in.
He was going
He went in.
Spelunking,
Wow.
my dude. Yes.
He put goggles
He
on?
put goggles on. And then I was out of it when I was...
Why can't they put you out before he puts the goggles and spread your legs?
I was like, why can't they put me out before I sit down?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to know that I'm spreading my legs and just my hoo-ha.
Getting a man aqua diving.
Yeah.
That's
so
crazy.
weird. Yeah, it was wild.
So then he went in and
scraped them out.
Oh.
I think it's like a scrape or a vacuum or something. I don't know. Something
Can
happened.
you see them? Microscopic.
Microscopic, I
Do
believe.
they come out in blood?
I don't know. I didn't ask.
What do they come out as? White liquid? I want to know.
I don't know. I bet we could ask. I'll ask him the next time. But he, basically, this last time I went, he told me I'm like an old bitch. He was like, we got to do this soon. And I was like, well,
much
I
is
have no
it?
money right now.
Is it?
It's like 12 G's. You should do
Crazy.
it. I mean,
What the fuck?
I think you should do it.
Don't they have, what are the risks?
There are no risks.
I think there's risks of the
Of what? Of what?
autism.
Autism? No, that's only when your egg is old. That's why you want to freeze it now, because if you have an old egg, that's
But
autism.
I've been having so much cum put up in there and I've never gotten an abortion.
That's okay.
Can I just check my fertility
Yeah.
first?
Well, no. You. When do you put the? Do you check when you're ovulating?
I don't check my fertility. How do I
You
check it?
start tracking. I'll give you a app.
I have an app,
Clue.
Flow.
Oh, but does it tell you when you're ovulating?
Yes.
Okay. Then yeah, just don't get cummed in during those times. When you're ovulating,
I don't do that.
then you're fine. That's
But
why
I'm
you're not
saying-
getting pregnant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But how?
You can only get pregnant if you're getting cummed in like a 4-day window. Yeah. So you're fine.
But I have friends who get pregnant like a lot.
They're different bodies. Remember, it's also a different thing. You can't have high protein stuff because it fucks with your body. So you probably just got a different.
I can't.
You
eat
might have a
meat.
smaller window.
Cows like being pet.
Then don't do it.
They love it.
Oof,
They like
that's-
playing with bouncy balls.
They do like playing with bouncy balls.
They are dogs. They're basically dogs.
Yeah.
It's really
I
fun.
had a huge steak yesterday. I'm so sorry.
They're so good. Isn't it crazy how good
Yeah.
it is? It's so fucked up.
Yeah. I even had steak tartare. I had raw steak.
I do raw.
Oh,
I
it was
asked
so
for
good.
every steak raw.
Yeah.
And they go, really? And I go, yeah.
Yeah, make it bloody.
Isn't that bad? It's just good for the period.
Yeah.
But my iron's low. I can feel it. I'm depleted.
Yeah, and I just had my period. You're welcome.
Nice.
Yeah, if you, and so whenever I crave red meat, that's what I just have it because I used to be anemic.
My dad was super vegetarian. He was like very pacifist, don't kill animals,
Yeah.
animal guy. I'm slowly becoming him. It's disgusting. I used to make fun of him so much for how he spoke to dogs, like
Yeah.
how obsessed he would get. And now all day I'm like, hey, she's my little chibi. We be walking down the streety. And I can't stop. And it's
Yeah.
fucked up. And now I'm not eating meat, just like my dad. But he would once a year eat a Kobe beef burger on his birthday to enjoy it. And the amount of, imagine not eating meat all year and then eating the biggest cut of, he would get so sick and
Yeah.
just sweat in bed for 6 hours. It was crazy.
And that's a testament to how good it tastes.
Yeah.
That he's like, I'm just gonna get sick for a
Dude,
week.
lamb is baby. I can't do it. Listen to me. How do you check fertility? Did you check fertility before getting eggs?
No, they check all your blood.
No.
Yeah, you have to get your blood done like 3 times.
But yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not doing it. I can't do. Oh.
You cannot look.
It's not about the looking. It's not about the looking. It's vasovagal, which means the second they put the tourniquet on, I'm white, gray, flop sweating through my shirt immediately, dropping, almost puking, rolling around. They're trying to grab it. I'm rolling. My body's protecting myself while I'm going unconscious. And then they touch.
Yeah, they do. They
You know what I'm
touch it.
talking about?
Yeah. They try and find.
Yeah.
They
No,
try
I don't
and
like
find
that.
it.
I don't
They
like
try and find. I still have a bruise from when they
No,
just.
no. I know my editor doesn't like this either. Sorry, Harry. I can't stand it. The bouncing. When they bounce it.
Yeah, they bounce it. But I give blood all the time, so I'm used to it. I'm a hero.
Oh my God. Because you have rare.
I have O negative, so it's universal. So I can give to anybody, so that they're always looking
I'm
for
fainting
my.
thinking about it.
Oh, I'm so okay.
It's crazy.
Well, my buzzer did go off.
Nuh-uh.
We have a nice time talking together.
That's an hour?
That was 55 minutes. I
Get the
believe.
fuck out of here. I thought that was 20 minutes.
Yeah. No.
And we're going to go to Soul Cycle with Parker.
Yeah.
I like him.
Yeah. We're gonna do a little Parker sesh.
Oh, maybe I'm going to try wearing the
Wearing the what?
earplugs.
Yeah, it gets a little loud for you. It does. I
get a
love it.
little
I can't.
overwhelmed.
I don't want to think.
You know what I like about Soul Cycle?
What?
Is so when you feel intimidated by the hot people, eventually this thing happens where they have to put their shoes on and then walk around.
Yeah.
And everybody looks so retarded doing that they're all diminished. Dude, somebody DM'd me and they were like, did did I just go to a Soul Cycle class with my favorite comedian? And I was like, oh, I need to dress not how I've been dressing. I need to wear full coverage.
Yeah.
But that was, because that was like the day, remember when I wore those like bright green shorts?
Yeah, you looked crazy.
It was insane. Because I just like grabbed the thing that would be lightest in my bag. So, and then some guy was like, did I see you? And I was like, no, it wasn't me. I don't do stuff like that.
Yeah, that's gay.
It's gay. It's stupid and bad. It is really good though.
The other day I was thinking about like, because I was seeing Mr. Salami and I was like, why am I so intimidated or nervous or whatever? And then I was talking to Sid and she was like, why? And I was like, the thing that helped me be like not intimidated by this guy was being like, I've already seen his O face. If you think about a man coming, like every man you've ever slept with, their O face is ridiculous. It's crazy. And so whenever I'm
My
like,
eyes are always
I'm
closed.
nervous to see it, I'm like, you look so stupid when you come.
That's really, I think about the toes.
The toes? Yeah.
You know when the toes go, when you're blowing them and the toes are, and you're like,
see, I avoid man feet.
look
I
at
don't
the
like
toes.
man feet.
Look at them. Look at them to know that you have all the power. When they get, or they splay like this, and you're like, oh, it's really bad. Because we at least do Barbie foot, you know what I mean? But they'll go full, just like flex. It's really brutal. It's really fucked up. Yeah, I think the salami thing is tough. That's only going to lead to heartbreak.
Yeah, I know it's no good.
That's Italians are inherently misogynistic. My friend just told me today that she's in an Italian like interior design class in Italy in Rome, and they were designing a room, and the professor, who's like an Italian man, was like, "You need to design a room in this structure for the husband because he's going to be paying for all of this, and this is because it was designed for like a female whatever." And my friend, who's like an American woman, was like, no, but like all the Italians were like, yes, for the mind, they need to get that. So like that is the culture he's coming from.
Yeah. I mean, it's all just like, I think we're just really good, gonna be really good friends. And
Not Vulan is goddamn. Does he have hair on his chest?
yes,
Yes, he does. It's so fucked up.
so
What about the forearm across the body? That's the one that fucks my life up.
What's
like
that?
when your little spoon and the forearm comes down, and you have the forearm here.
Oh yeah,
That fucks me up. Where I'm like
yeah.
clutching it. It's crazy. I'll carry Coyote down the stairs, and she knows to hold on to my arm now, and she'll squeeze my arm, and I feel her do it, and I become a little coyote with a forearm.
Oh my
You
god.
clutch it like a little koala.
Yeah,
Because that's all childhood shit too. That's all the parent being like, swing you on the arm.
yeah. You're safe. It's all gonna be okay.
It's so
We're
fucked
having
up.
fun.
As if parents are safe at all.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so fucked up. What are you gonna do now? Are you gonna date?
I think I'm gonna start dating in the spring. Yeah.
Okay, but vet them by me because you date crazy people.
I do. I date.
That one
crazy.
guy was crazy.
I know he was a little nuts.
He was hot,
He was so hot.
but there was something not right.
No,
Not
there
like I
was
wanted
he had
to.
shifty eyes.
Shifty as hell. He was shifty. I met him and was like, no.
Yeah.
You shoplift weird stuff. You shoplift weird like tampons that you just then throw away just to feel.
Yeah, my therapist wants me to go on dates and not fuck them. She's like, call it trial dating, you know, where you just kind of go on dates randomly with guys you wouldn't expect and just be like, oh, this is what it's like to go meet someone and then leave. And I was like, but if I'm going to spend my time with someone, I'm going to fuck them.
Well, the problem is you're not motivated to date until you want to fuck, and then you have to go find a vessel.
Yeah.
That's it, where you're just like, no, I'm fine. I want to be single. I want to be alone. And then you'll be like, I'm really horny. And then 3 days later, you're like, I'm going to go dating. And I'm like, yeah.
Broken bitch.
I think you just have to date before you want to, which is fucked up. Like, I think you have to force yourself to date so that you don't have sex. Because by the time you want to date.
I think what I'm going to do is have my friends set me up.
Have you ever had that happen in your life? Have you ever fucking had that happen?
I mean, I have some friends who are like not comedians. I think I'm going to be like, do you know any guys that would be good for me? I'll go meet them for lunch.
I have tried setting Sydney up with men. I have tried showing men the hottest woman that's ever lived. And there's something about being like, I'll set you up with this woman. They get too scared, I think. Every time I've tried, I'm like, just go. And they get too freaked out.
But I'm not the hottest woman on the planet. You know, I'm just a
you
regular
think she's
gal.
scaring them for that reason?
I think she's too pretty.
Intimidating,
She's
yeah.
gorgeous. Yeah. I'm pretty regular.
But then sometimes you get set up with a friend's friend, and every time that's happened to me, it's like, you're going to love Frank. He's so funny, and he's just fat. I'm like, you just think he's funny because he's a big fat guy.
Well, no, I think it'll be like, if you think someone's right for me, set it up, but don't force it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I can just be like, oh, it's
Who
all
do
there.
your friends have guy friends?
I don't know.
We all
I know. We
have
all
the
just
same.
know.
We're all friends with Pat Bircher.
I know.
We're all just friends with Pat.
Yeah. Well, Pat has friends.
Does he?
So I would ask Pat to set me up with friends.
He says that everybody always asks him that. Now.
Yeah, because he's so interesting that you feel like he's got hobbies. He's got weird hobbies. And so it's like, send me up with one of your weird hobby guys.
Yeah, send me up with one of your oatmeal guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, my problem is the people I date, they aren't New Yorkers. They're not New Yorkers.
Yeah.
I am a hick.
Yeah.
Or a hippie. Hick or hippie. And those don't really exist in New York. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I go to Canada, I'm like, oh, welcome to the jungle. But here it's like guys who have like half zips.
I like it all.
I know.
I like anything.
You're just
I'm really, if you look at my type of man that I've dated over the span of a decade, they're all very different. They make no sense. But I do find that I love like a tattooed
piece of shit.
I love a tattooed man.
You could be one of those female comics that dates a chef.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I've dated 4.
Really?
Yeah. I love chefs. Chefs are so fun.
Because they do coke?
Well, back when I was doing it, yeah, it was great. But they drink a lot. We have the same hours, but they do drink a lot. It's like an alcoholism.
I can't wait for you to go on.
situation.
I just want you to go on dates selfishly because then I get to assess.
I mean, that would
Are
be
you
great.
on Raya? Horrifying.
No, they won't pass me.
That's crazy.
I keep waiting to
They
get.
pass people who are literally like dog walkers.
I know.
What the
They
fuck?
see it. I'm just too average. I'm too average.
Somebody's
looking.
saying they're wrecking you and they're not. I wrecked you.
Thank you.
But
But I asked Todd Barry to wreck me.
If I see Todd Barry on there, it will do something to my soul.
He's on there.
I saw Chris Rock on there.
Ugh,
Isn't that crazy?
that is.
It was too far. The older you get, the more close in you get with the photos I've
Oh,
noticed.
me.
So you'll be scrolling, you'll be like, oh! And it's right there. It's crazy. Okay, we have to go to Soul Cycle.
We got to go to Soul Cycle, baby.
I'm really happy that you came.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Did we talk about dark enough stuff?
It's not really about that.
Oh no.
I mean, it can be. But yeah, you talked about freezing your eggs and being an alcoholic and
thank
having
you.
sex. And yeah, you said
Yeah.
way more,
I probably gave away too much about
Way
the
too much.
Mr. Salami.
really fucked up.
Yeah.
No, who gives a fuck?
Yeah. I mean, I don't care. I'm not.
Nobody
gonna...
knows who Mr. Salami is.
Okay, good.
He's just a guy.
He's just a guy.
He's a musician.
He's a musician. He's very talented. You know, I like musicians.
He's a very talented musician.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, musicians are fucked up.
Yeah.
I've dated a musician. They're too sensitive. Take everything.
They really feel everything.
They're in a narrative.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sick of narrative-based people.
They love a love story.
They love a love story, and then they want me to be some like, and I'm like, no, I fart so much.
They want one of those women with those like big brimmed hats and flowy skirts.
Yeah.
Ugh. It's exhausting.
Yeah, they want there to be depth, and I'm like, I'm doing the mini crossword.
Everything you see is what you get. I will
Yeah.
tell you exactly how I feel. That's the crazy thing. Like I will tell you if I am upset, I will tell you that I'm upset. Like I'll
Yeah.
say it. And the guy, Mr. Salami's not used to that. He's used to having to be like, are you okay? What are you? And I'm like,
Oh, I'm telling you, it's the misogyny of that culture. It's not even his fault. It's how it is. They have to be like, it's an overly chivalrous thing that almost becomes condescending towards women.
yeah. It's like,
Where
I know how I feel. And if
Yeah.
I have a problem, I'll tell you.
Yeah, where it's like, are you sure? Because I know that you're probably hiding from me because I'm so strong and powerful. And you're like, no, you're a small bitch.
Yeah.
I will tell you how I feel.
You have so many problems.
Yeah,
You're messy.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not that messy. I'm doing okay.
But you're in
Yeah.
love with him, so that's a huge problem.
I wouldn't go that far, but I like him very much. It's a bummer.
You're fucked.
I know. No, but I there's going to be a long stint of no contact, so it'll be good.
Well, we're all going to be old and bored eventually, so we might as well just get our heart broken 1,000 times while we
I mean, it's
have the
something to
gumption.
do.
It's
It's
something to
something to do.
It's something to obsess about rather
Yeah.
than just taking videos of ourselves while we turn in a circle to see if everything's okay.
Yeah. They'll be like, "Are you mad at me?"
yeah. Can you be mad at me? Okay, I love you.
I love you so
Are
much.
you still doing Quiz Bitch?
Yeah, we're doing a different iteration of it, probably in first week of March. But your episode's going to come out in like 2 weeks.
Yay! Watch that. It was really fun.
It was fun.
It was really
And
fun.
we had a nice
I
time.
love quizzes.
Yeah. Oh my God.
They're so fun. What a
They're
great
so
idea.
fun. Yeah. Thank you so much. We're going to do a bunch of quizzes. So tune into Quiz Bitch.
Okay, let's go do
Let's
a
go.
subpar job.
Yeah. Let's go cycle.